Oh, righty then. I think we're live on the next stream here.
Mo better.
And sorry we're a little later than I expected us to be. I apologize for that. Cardiff popped on and read some fantastic reviews.
Mm-hmm.
So that took us a little longer than I was expecting. Now, Cardiff, you have agreed to help us out with reading these Ask Me Anythings.
Yes.
So we got Kevin, the original co-host, with myself. Trucker Andy's hanging out as well. Producer Chris had to take off. But you have the three of us. Super chats are wide open, people. There's a lot of rumors going around that say I won't read super chats. I will. I will read every super chat that comes through. Now, Cardiff, you said you've been collecting questions.
Yes, I've got questions in Reddit.
I'm worried about this.
So you can DM me in Reddit. You can DM me on Twitter. You can super chat, of course.
Super chat's the preferred way to ask us questions, of course.
But I have a few here. So the first one, are you ready to go?
Yeah, now people are saying, no, Producer Chris, what the fuck? I'll be answering any questions directed to Producer Chris directly. I'm happy to speak for him. That's no problem.
All right, perfect. Do you think I could get a theme song?
Oh, do you want a theme song to start things off with?
It seems a little, you know, in the business, we call this a cold open, and I'm really not comfortable with cold opens.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what, Cardiff? When you're right, you're right. You are right.
Ooh, Cardiff!
Cardiff Electric, the most famous podcast in the world today. Cardiff Electric, he's so cool, come out and play. He's the guy all the other guys are jealous of.
That's one hot potato.
'Cause he's the guy that all the girls wanna be with. Oh, Karl Electric, the most famous podcast in the world today. He's got great guests on his show, like Dr. Steve and some other people.
We love you, Cardiff!
Thank you,
Cardiff Electric theme, produced by Doug White at Watchmen Studios. Well done.
It's the greatest thing that's ever been recorded in that building.
I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could agree with that. Israel, thank you for the $2. No cold opens for the hot potato. I see what you did there.
Thank you for the $2.
All right.
All right.
Let's start with the questions. Let's move this along quickly.
So first question is from Reddit. It's from that guy from Nickelback. Carl. This actually isn't too much of a question, more of a statement. Anyway, Carl, less Zumach, more Jerry Banfield. Your feud with Zumach is boring as shit, you cunt.
See, I disagree. I think Chad Zumach is endlessly fascinating. The way that he's like totally nuking himself, I think is fun. But Jerry's a cool guy. Did you send me that video, Cardiff, of Jerry's whole setup?
Walking through his house.
I watched this thing. So Jerry, you would love this because you're a big Jerry fan. He walked with a camera through his house and showed how he records his show. And he goes through all the technical aspects of it. But the most fascinating part is that he does that in his own bedroom. He's got this green sheet going across next to his bed. And he goes around from his bed, and there he is, and he starts doing his show. And Cardiff, my observation was it doesn't look like anyone else sleeps in that bed. Right? I know he's a married guy. I know he has a family, but
the creepiest part was when he showed his baby's bathtub.
I didn't get that far into it.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Huh. Where is John? Stuttering John? I hope he's doing well. There's speculation he's in rehab. I'd be shocked if that were true, but I hope he's doing well. He'll be back in January for sure. We know that.
So, you know who's not boring as shit? Lorenzo Areola. When are you going to drop the Zumach shit and get back to the goods? I'll take my answer off air. Thanks for the $2 super chat.
Yeah, I like Lorenzo. The problem is that I actually really do enjoy his show, so it doesn't work with the format of who are these podcasts all that well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we've got one from Twitter. Okay, this is from Gangrenously. Kevin, do you regret introducing Carl to Vinny now that they're rolling in money?
Every time I get paid my own paycheck, I'm like, motherfucker, I could be doing nothing. And
Nothing.
I could be wealthy.
Actually, yeah, that's true. You would be doing nothing. I was prepping all day today.
That's exactly it. That's exactly how it was for this 59 episodes. I did nothing, and Carl did a lot of
That's
it.
not true. That's not true at all. You did most of the work back then.
Well.
You had to teach me how to actually run a podcast and upload it and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I did watch the World Cup game today, so I can't totally complain about my lifestyle. It's not all bad.
I'm going to ask if people are sending you questions in to just write them in the form of a question so I don't have to reinterpret them because they're asking me to ask you this question. So
You're right.
I don't want
Okay.
to paraphrase anyone.
Rick says he thought that you were at Zoomox. Wait, I thought Puppet was at Zoomox? I don't know what that means. All right,
Yeah,
whatever.
the SJ Puppet was at Zoomox. He did an Uncle Rico episode from Zoomox's apartment. but
Oh,
he left.
the SJ Puppet's still going strong.
Yes. Oh, he kicked ass on Uncle Rico. I'll give him credit.
Okay. I can't keep up with all this shit.
So,
I'm
Carl,
trying to, Cardiff.
thank you. Carl, what is your favorite American white woman true crime and alcohol podcast? That's from Stephen M. on Twitter.
Yeah, I think Wine and Crime or Red Wine and True Crime or Wine Time with True Crime or the Crimey Wine Time
Crime
show.
Wine Time.
Yeah, all of those are great. They're all really good stuff.
Oh, good.
Oh, here's one from Cyborganic. Has anyone seen Dorkles lately? Where's Dorkles been? Whoa!
Oh my God, is here.
Dorkles has some conspiracy theories about the reptilian people.
They live in the inner earth.
Skinwalker Ranch.
Skinwalker Ranch, motherfuckers.
Okay, from Tinseltown Times. Will Carl ever stop asking his guests to pull clips? This way he can get a higher caliber of guests like lazy Mark Normand. That's from Tinseltown.
So I do treat celebrity guests differently now than I used to. I don't force them to pull clips. Of course, that was the big reason why we had an issue with Chrissy Mayer, was when I sent her homework assignment, all of a sudden, oh, I have a conflict that week, and I can't remember.
My nephew's in the semifinal.
Yeah, right. I should have known from that point on. But I believe Anthony gave me a lecture on his show about me asking people to pull clips, which was unfair because his girlfriend pulls the clips, but whatever. It's neither here nor there. Anyway, my point is I gave Kevin the celebrity treatment today. I said, don't pull any clips. I got it, buddy.
Which I wasn't going to do anyway.
Right.
Because I never...
Which
yeah.
is fine. Yeah. And also, there has been a note to Mark Norman. I'd love to have him on the show.
Perfect. So the next question is from Uncle Sam 78. It's a question for Kevin.
Oh, boy.
Is it true that you were fired from the Isotopes for being too handsome?
That rumor just will not die.
Yes.
I just don't know why.
They were like, we can't deal with you anymore. You got to get off the drums there. It's too distracting for our listeners.
Yeah, save some review girls for the rest of us here, Kevin. Come on.
All right. So the next question is from Reddit, from Deeply Unprincipled. He or she would like to know when the first time, I'm assuming he's asking about Kevin and Carl, because he didn't say, he just said them. When Kevin and Carl, the first time they docked penises together, and whose idea was it?
God, I don't remember whose idea it was. I remember the date and time.
I remember it felt really good. I mean, that part I remember.
I was like, Kevin has a foreskin. That gives me a light bulb.
Yeah, he's like, what? Then we had a conversation
I know
about
what to do with
foreskins,
that.
and yeah, it was a whole, yeah.
Okay, our next question is from Reddit, from Excellent Shake 1853. I'm not sure if that's the year he was born. Is Carl more than 7 inches?
Is that a question for me or Kevin?
I was going to say, I can answer that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whoever
That's
has an
yes,
answer.
it is, yeah.
Yeah. But the only way you get to that conclusion is you have to wrap the tape around twice before you go all the way back
You
out.
measure from outside behind the ass.
Yeah, right
You
behind the
measure and then you
asshole,
forward.
wrap around the balls twice,
Yeah.
and then
Yes.
6.5.
Our next question is again from Gangrenously. He would like to know if Carl would suck John's dick for a Bills Super Bowl win.
Wow. You know what?
Whoa.
That's tough. That's tough. That's a tough one. To completion? Like, what are we talking about? I put my tongue out. Like how far do I have to go with that?
Pretend not to like it. Yeah.
I'm like the kid in the Christmas store. I'm like, just stuck to his cock. It's so dirty. I'll have to get back to you on that one. That's a. Do I get tickets to the game?
Wasn't,
throw in
it wasn't
tickets and you
included
got
in
a
the
deal.
question.
All
Well,
right.
I would buy tickets to that. You want to talk about selling on a live show?
You'd buy tickets to the blowjob.
Yeah, is that what you're talking about, or the Super Bowl?
Our next, we have a celebrity question coming in
Okay.
from Mr. Anthony Cumia.
Okay.
He wants to know, how do you feel that you stole Stutjon Khan from Cardiff Electric and kicked him to the curb?
Listen, that's wildly exaggerated, I have to tell you, because well, Cardiff has been an inspiration to all of us. DabbleCon was always the idea that we were going to go with. So I think I want Cardiff to be a part of DabbleCon, of course. And maybe Stutjon Khan could be a part of DabbleCon, not in the parking lot per se, but actually in the building where the rest of us are.
What the fuck is going on with this show?
I'm not sure. I'm not
What
sure
has
if I
happened to
can.
this show? Stut Joe fucking.
They're supposed to be
Cardiff
asking us
Con?
questions.
What the hell?
Kevin, they're supposed to be asking us questions. You're not
This
supposed to be
used to
asking.
be a simple thing.
This is just a hobby that we had.
Holy shit.
I don't think that was a question from Anthony Cumia.
It,
Let
it
me
could
just
have been
read
a
this.
fake Anthony Cumia.
Yeah, it might have been. Let me just read this super chat real quick. I'm regretting having you on this show, Cardiff.
Thank you.
Amused Contempt for $5. When will there be a new Isotopes album? Also, please send part of this to Vinny. I feel bad about his punishment. No, fuck him. Fuck him. He deserves to lose all the Patreon money. We're recording in February and March. We'll have new songs out. Andy is the GOAT. He's turning into a monster. That is one of the greatest lines in WATP history. Alan Cruz. Hey, Carl, Kevin, Andy, Potato. But Carl, which co-host have you known the longest? I think that's Andy. Right? We met in high school,
Yeah.
like my senior year or your senior year of high school, maybe.
Yeah.
And, well, no, Kevin. Definitely I've known Kevin longer. He grew up right near me.
I was going to say, we were
Oh,
like
right.
6 houses away from each
Sorry,
other.
it wasn't a slight to you. I was just thinking of the people who are in the rotation. The people in the rotation now.
I got it.
All right, I knew Kevin since we rode the bus together. We were little kids, and Andy I've known since high school, and Croge I met after college, and Vinny I met a few years ago. So I guess I don't know.
My mistake.
That's the hierarchy.
All right, we have a question from Reddit from Squirrelia.
Okay.
We all see some part of ourselves in Stuttering John. What part of yourself do you see in him, other than your penis? Also, tell him that the Isotopes cover of Feel So Good really sucks.
What?
I'm just reading the question.
I was planning on playing that on the 23rd, and we do Holiday Village. We were going to put that on the set list. Now I'm second guessing that whole thing.
Not me on drums.
Andy, what part? That's true. What part of Stuttering John do you see yourself? All right, I'll answer. I'll answer because you don't have an
Probably
answer.
like the not showering all the time.
Okay, that's a good answer. I was gonna say toenails, but I do trim my toenails from time to time. No, I think it's the alcoholism, but Coors Light. I'm gonna
Yeah,
swap that
I
for
mean-
like Bud Next or something.
Coors
Miller Lights.
That was my instinct is like the beer drinking, but I hate Coors Light. Yeah, I know.
Cardiff revealed that I'm a drunk when he was on the Steel Toe Morning Show the other day.
Sorry, I let that slip.
Cardiff talks a lot of shit when he's on these other people's shows. You got to watch out for him.
Couple more from Twitter. Alex Gangrenously would like to know, why is it so hard for you to promote the creep off, and why do you want to keep Vinny poor and fat? Is it a fetish?
TheCreepoff.com is where you can find our fine true crime podcast made, the only one made for men on the internet today. The Creep Off. Great show. I recommend it.
Here's an interesting question from Johnny Mars on Twitter. What is Carl's favorite WATP episode and why?
A real question.
That is a real question.
It is.
My favorite episode. It might be the first time you and I did Stuttering John. It was episode 109. Because it was such a weird thing. We just pulled a random episode of the Stuttering John podcast. And in that episode, That was when the Glory Days song
Oh,
started.
Jesus, yeah.
Because we were listening to that, and he was talking about his report card, and he was talking about playing trumpet in second grade, and I was just like, "Is this a grown man talking about this shit?"
I was in a recital when I was a kid, and they recognized my talent, so that's how I got.
And he wrote a skit, and he got an A on it. He's been a comedian all his life. So that one sticks out in my mind. Now, Chewed Gum sticks out in my mind too. I think that's 142, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. The first time we heard Patrick Michael, it changed my life. That was life changing. I was like, "Holy shit!"
Was that Mean Doug?
It might have been Mean Doug.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
my
good one.
buddy.
Those are great. Those are both great episodes. So all right, that's my answer, I guess.
All right. Shockingly Efficient on Reddit asks, why does Carl hate improv comedy so much?
Because it's
And
not
does-
funny.
And
It's
does
never
Kevin
fucking
share
funny.
this hatred? Can I finish the question?
Finish the question.
And does Kevin share this hatred?
Kevin, what do you think about improv comedy?
No, I'm with you on the same. I'm on the same page with you. When I was quote unquote doing comedy, I tried improv one time and I hated it.
I've heard podcasts of like accomplished improv people trying to do it on a podcast and just being like groaning because it's fucking terrible.
It's
We have a true peer called Nuts and Bolts,
yeah.
and sometimes they'll do events that I'm at, and there's nothing more uncomfortable than watching improv comics bomb, and that's all they do is bomb, and it just puts everyone on edge. They're just like, "Oh, you're uncomfortable watching it."
You're either amazing at it,
Which almost no one is.
right? And those people are on Saturday Night Live or
Right.
whatever they go on.
Yeah,
to be,
exactly.
Or you're horrible.
Well, it's, you got
And it's-
people like Scott Aukerman and Paul F. Tompkins and Lauren Lapkus. You put them all on mic, and then they tap dance as fast as they can for an hour, and maybe you get a couple of laughs out. And it's just like
Yeah.
so fucking absurd. I don't know. I think it's absurd and unfunny.
Indian Bra says, "How long before the Devilverse turns on Elisa?" Gosh, I know there's some people not real fond of Elisa Jordana.
What? Why?
Well, there's reasons.
What's the pro?
There's some reasons out there.
I guess we'll have to do a follow-up episode.
I watched an interesting video about Andy Dick the other day. Elisa's not helping that cause. It's not good.
So Turbo7049 asks, Kevin and Andy, was Carl always a cunt?
Yeah. He was.
Good answer.
Yeah. I think he was a bigger cunt.
Yeah. I always tell the story because, like, I hated Carl growing up, and then college came around, and we discovered marijuana, and I think that's when I was like, he's a pretty cool guy.
Well, I also changed probably. From when I was a little kid,
maybe.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe he did. I don't know. But then, yeah.
Kevin
funny.
wasn't a cunt. I was a cunt. So
Well, Kevin, I think the reason why you and I are friends is because of Andy.
Yes,
Because
that is true. That is true.
You and Andy were friends as well as our friend Duke, and you joined our band. I started the band or I didn't start the band, but I started with the band with these guys, and they brought you in to be our singer.
Yeah.
And that's how we became friends.
Yeah, it was a horrible period of time that we won't speak of. Yeah.
We didn't write great music back then.
No, nor was I any good. But yeah.
we were very high.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Here's a question that's coming in. Alan Cruz says, let's see this again. A show you guys should revisit is the Boogered Up podcast. It was my favorite episode of the year. Your analysis of Spaz Kid had me dying. Yeah, Spaz Kid. He was like fucking Cornholio. That was
Keep it
that was
from my
interesting.
bunghole.
Yeah. And then Gregory says, have you ever regretted going too hard on a person/podcast? Also, how often do people you roast contact you and are cool about it? Well, that's few and far between. I do get people to contact me and are cool about it. Harrison Young is pretty cool. We've been texting back and forth. I'm still trying to set up
It's awesome.
a meeting. I know. I'm still trying to get on his show. Have I ever regretted going too hard on a person or podcast? Probably. Gosh, let me think of an example. Can you think of one, Kevin?
I remember like the first time that we had a show be like, I paid attention to it.
Yeah.
And I felt so fucking guilty. Like, I'm like, oh my God. Like,
You're like, I wasn't saying that so you'd hear it.
I was like, oh my God, somebody's listening to this shit. And yeah, it was, for me, it was like, I just was feeling very bad about
And overcoming all of the 1-star reviews that had to be weathered from whenever people heard the show. That was always the retaliation was to go on and
Yeah.
review your show on
Right.
iTunes and say one
So you're
star and get all their friends to 1-star it.
I'll say this: I typically don't feel bad because I'm usually right in my analysis. You know what I mean? Like if there was someone that was just like taking everything out of context and just being a dick for no reason, then that'd be one thing. But usually, if I hear something that I like, I'll say what's good about it, and I'll just shit on what sucks. And so if people reach out to me, I'm like, yeah, but do better. That's on you.
And there has been people that have commented where they're like, they get the joke, they get the
Yes.
format, which is good.
And
always
there's also
works out
been
well.
instances where we've been wrong, like Come Town. I ended up listening to a bunch of Come Town.
Yeah, I know. I still listen to the Adam Friedland, whatever that is, thing. But
Are you ready for the next question?
yes, let's go.
Baby Butters ask, how did Carl convince Jen to marry him? Or trick, whatever.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say there must be something more to that. You know what it is? Digital marketers are just really cool guys. Everyone wants to get with a digital
Everybody-
marketing professional.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, "Oh, you're working in spreadsheets? Oh,
Okay.
that's pretty hot."
All right, not so much a question, but a comment. But I bet Carl regrets going so hard on The Vanishing. Do you regret that?
Not, I mean, at the time, yes, the Vanished podcast, but not in the long term. It actually worked out pretty well for us. It was a good story too. That was something that I got to go on because I remember when I got punched out by the Misfits drummer, and I went and did a bunch of radio shows locally telling that story because it was a fun story to tell. Like at the time, it sucked, but then I was like, oh, now I got a story to tell. So the Vanished trying to ruin my life sucked at the time. But then I was on the Dick Show, and I've done a bunch of people's shows like telling that story. So it's like it's worked out for that reason.
One more just came in. Turbo 7049 ask, Cardiff, would you punch Carl in the face at Stutch? Oh, this is for me. Never mind.
File that one away, Carter.
Yes. I'll answer that in February.
Sounds good. Well, you know I'm not going to press charges now. You know how I feel about that. So
And I agree
Damn
with
it.
you on that.
But he will put a dick in your mouth on the internet.
why are you team Pat Dixon? You just a fan of Pat's?
When I met him in Rochester, he was nice to me.
Yeah, he was cool. He's a good guy.
Yes.
I like Pat.
That's all it takes. Just be nice to me and I like you. And don't
should
block
take.
me.
Someone asked Danzig era Misfits garbage. Fucking terrible music. I like punk rock music, and that is terrible music.
But how about solo Danzig?
Terrible. It's garbage music.
Okay. I see where you stand.
Danzig sucks.
Danzig's gonna be on fucking these shows next week. This fucking guy.
It's going to be sit down, Zumak.
Any more questions coming in?
Nothing else seems to be coming in. Nope.
All right. Well, that was fun. I mean, I don't know. I thought we were going to get more real questions than we did. But
Anything
I
in
don't,
the
mind.
I
chat?
don't know why you would think that.
Yeah.
I don't know why either. Honestly, the reason why I had this idea is because somebody posted in the subreddit, hey, I'm kind of new to the show. I don't really understand a lot of the lore and the backstory. So I was like, well, Kevin's going to be in town. This would be a good time to do like some kind of AMA or something.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're doing it. But when is Artie coming on? When is Artie coming on anything? When's the last time you saw Artie? All right. Is that everything? Any more people want to super chat? Any more questions or anything?
Last call for super chats, people.
Cardiff should be a millionaire. How do you know Cardiff isn't a millionaire? Oh, you got your guitar with you.
Yes, I was going to play a song to end the show for you.
Okay. What are you gonna hit for us here?
I don't know. Is the show over?
Well, I don't know. Can we request a song?
You can request anything you want. I might not be able to play it though.
Do you know how?
Probably very likely I won't. What?
Do you know Hot for Teacher?
I do, but I'm tuned down, so I wouldn't be able to play that. for you.
Tune down to what? Drop D?
Yes.
Carl, don't take
Hot for Teacher's an A. You're fine.
Cardiff. Don't take requests if you don't know everything.
Daff 10 says, you skipped my super chat. You marketing genius, you made me super chat you another 5 to point out that you gypped me.
Nice move.
Oh, I'm sorry. Super chat me again with the question. I missed it. I'm sorry.
Lots of
Dabblecon,
super
guitar off with John. Serious answer. Who wins? Oh, I could definitely play guitar better than Stuttering John Milan does. I don't know about Cardiff, though. He's pretty good. Cardiff's actually learned some of Stuttering John's songs. He's played them for me. It's impressive. Was Carl's mashing of Cardiff's after show review the reason he stopped?
Did I do an after show? I don't even remember. Oh, I think I tried doing it. No, I think I did an after show on Discord. And
Oh, right.
It was
I forgot that you
just-
did that.
Palm swipes after.
Yeah, it was like
No.
a Palm Swipes after kind of deal.
it didn't work.
Fair
People in the Discord are animals.
This is a tough one right here. Katsumi Otama says, Kevin, best and worst moments of being on the show. Go! Best and worst, go!
I mean, the best was like just being able to do the show. I mean, and seeing it come to light after and planning it and stuff like that. But I think the worst was probably when I don't know, when it got to the point where I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do it anymore. So, and you know, I don't like letting Carl down, even though it's become a thing that I do. Like, you know, leaving the Isotopes and leaving other things.
Well, you quit the band that we were in with Andy.
Right.
You quit the Isotopes.
Yeah,
you quit this podcast.
Yeah. And then they all become wildly successful.
It'd be funny if you got it.
That's the trick.
If you got up right now and just like walked out of the house.
right.
That'd be the perfect way for this to happen.
Yeah. So yeah, Carl, we have a history of starting things together,
Yeah.
and then they become successful, and then I jet, and then they become more successful under Carl's reign. So yeah, it's a thing.
Coop says, thank you for not killing yourselves. You are very welcome, Coop. I recommend everybody not kill themselves. And,
ATX had an interesting question about the Jim and Sam show, if you want to try jump on
Sure.
that. It was in the chat. I
Oh,
can't control your
I
chat.
got to find it?
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to be able to find
Well, while you're looking for that, Andy, Turbo7049 asked, Andy, how many states are in the bodies strewn across America? Are the bodies strewn across?
Yeah.
many
Everything east of the Mississippi.
Okay. How
Every
many
single
states?
one, huh?
Yeah.
All of them?
it. Even Maine?
Yeah.
It just seems so far out of the way.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Why no review of Jim and Sam? That show is absolute garbage, as is Sam Roberts. I disagree. I'm friends with Jim Norton, and Sam does a good job. I made fun of his wrestling show because that's really bad because he does his own fan fiction wrestling thing, which is not good. But Sam does a good job on Jim and Sam.
Justin Bovine on Twitter has a question.
All right.
Who do you guys think does the best SJ impression? I'm going with Chrissy Mayer by a long shot.
I love Chrissy's the best.
I have the answer, but
Anthony does a great one.
Anthony's good.
Anthony does Artie doing Stuttering John, which is really funny. Of course, producer Chris does a great one. What do you think?
Tab.
Tab is a great, yes,
Tab
that's a great
crushes it.
answer.
Well,
Yeah.
the dark horse here, if anyone could actually have heard the To Catch a Dabbler I did for New York, E-Rock had a great Stuttering John.
I believe you.
It's one potato's opinion.
Let's see. The great Watubi says, Carl Clubfoot, have you ever covered Perry Caravello yet? This guy is due for a heart attack soon. Yeah, I know that. Do you know who that is? Windy City Heat.
Oh. Yeah.
So that dude he has like a handler or something, and he just live streams all day, and he's a hoarder. So he's like in his apartment, and it's just like filled with garbage, and he just gets like fucking angry at people. He's lost. I mean, if he had a mind, he's lost it.
Well, it's garbage that people that watch him send him, and he keeps
Oh, is
it
that
all.
what it is?
Yes, and he's been people have been taunting him with Stuttering John remarks lately, so he's been calling out John a lot lately. It's not me. It wasn't
He
me.
thinks John's fucking with him. Oh, is it?
Yes.
Is it Cardiff? Okay.
No, not me. But I covered an episode on my show.
Nalax44, much love. Any inside info on SJ? I do get inside info on SJ, and I believe that I know for a fact he's coming back in January. He wanted to do a show behind a paywall like Compound Media, but he can't afford it. He didn't realize how hard that would be.
Fucking
So he'll be back on YouTube in January. We are looking forward to that.
Good news.
Where are we with the Pat Oates laptop fund? I sent him some money. I hope other people did too. I'll have to reach out to him and see where he's at with that, because it'd be nice to get Pat Oates back on the show with equipment that worked. Everyone's saying, when are we going to get Gino back with equipment that works? When are we going to get Pat back with equipment that works? Troll Hunter, $5. Thank you, sir. Or ma'am. Oh, this is the Stuttering John riff. Kevin, you see that question on the screen right now? Why are the first 59 episodes better than the rest? You're looking at it. You're looking at the reason.
Cobra Commander.
This is the song that John played on the Conan O'Brien show. That is a terrible riff. That is so bad.
It's garbage.
It's not good. Not good. Thanks for the entertainment, guys. Of course, William. Thank you for supporting us with your super chats. Always appreciated. Well, we have a lot of people here watching. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for the support. And we're going to take off now. And thank you for hanging out for this AMA and for listening to the show and for not killing yourself. Cardiff Electric. People should go check out the Cardiff Electric podcast.
On
Where
YouTube.
can they do that? On
Go to YouTube, Spotify. Well, don't go to Spotify anymore. I just do YouTube's and my Twitter and patreon.com/Cardiff Electric.
What do they
See
get
me
on Patreon if you sign up for that?
Lots of bonus material, and you can get to catch a dabbler without you fools talking over it.
Okay.
And definitely, and promo codes for my shirts and mugs. But definitely come to if you're going to DabbleCon again. I'll be in the parking lot across the street. That's in the
What is the
Stutjon
catch a
content.
dabbler with nobody playing it?
I don't know.
It's just the questions.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
He's just a potato.
Yeah.
What kind of content are you making,
so
Andy?
funny.
You think you're
Cardiff,
so much
I like
better.
you. I like you, man. You're good.
Everyone loves Cardiff.
You're good people, man.
He's going to connect all of us
Yeah.
together. We're going to be friends with Stuttering John and Zumak. We're all going to be buddies.
You should check out my sit down with Zumok though. I think we made progress.
Were you a potato in this?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a good question. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
don't know.
always a
It's like-
potato. It's not a bad question. All right. Very good, sir. I'm glad to see that you're doing so well on YouTube and Patreon.
Thank you.
Happy for you. To my sister-in-law, did you try the crossword I made? I have not. I'll get on that.
Are you coming to Christmas?
Thanks for coming to the Isotope Show. It was good to see you there.